Hello, Year 7. I hope you had a lovely Christmas break and welcome back to the first lesson of the spring term and welcome to your first online lesson for French as well. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so this is your first time doing online lessons for languages. So what I'm going to explain to you now is the equipment that you will need for today's lesson. So what I'll do is explain the equipment and then I want you to pause the video so that you can go and get all the equipment in front of you and then you press play when you're ready to go on to the different activities. So here's a list of the equipment you need for today. You'll need your French exercise book that the school gave you. You'll need a pen and a ruler. You'll need your knowledge organizer for module 3, and this is on class charts for you in a link. So you can either upload that and just have it on a tab, or if you do have access to a printer, you can print that out and it's 2 pages, so you can stick those 2 pages in the front of your book before you start the do now and title, or you can leave those 2 pages free and just put KO in pencil on those 2 pages for me to give you a printed off copy as soon as you can get back into school. So it's your choice. If you could print them off, that will be really useful for your online lessons. But if not, really don't worry. I have copies for you at school when I finally see you. So also, it's a really good idea to open an online dictionary tab on your computer. So you can just Google wordreference.com and it will bring you up the link. And I've attached the link as well on class charts on the web links section. And this will help you look up any words you're not able to find in your knowledge organizer. Please also remember to email me if you've got any questions at all about today's activities in today's lesson, and here's my email address. And also please do take photos of your work in your book and upload them to class charts within 24 hours of the lesson so I can give you really well-deserved achievement points. Merci. Okay, as we do in class, as is our routine, I would like you to write the date in French in the right-hand corner and underline it, please. Okay, so mardi 5 janvier. Write that down and underline in the right-hand corner of the top line. Then write down the title, Dans mon temps libre, in my free time. And that should be in the center of the page. Then underline it. Then write down the objective, l'objectif, and that is to say which hobbies you do each day. Pause to make sure you do that properly now and press play for me to explain the do now. Okay, your do now activity should take no longer than 5 minutes. Looking back in your book, if you need to, try and write down as many pets in French as you can using the Scrabble board below, and you'll see that for each letter you get a different number of points. You've got to see how high a score you can get. So first of all, the highest score you can get with the most complex pet name, and then you can also add up your points for however many pets you manage to find. Okay, so for example, if you were to write cochon d'Inde, that is worth 16 points when you add up all the numbers here. C is 3, O is 1, C is 3, H is 4, O is 1, N is 1. And then you look for the dand yourself and add those up and see how many points you can get. Once you've done that, I want you to press play, and then Miss Clinton will talk you through the rest of the lesson. I hope you have a really lovely lesson, and I'll pop up again on the final slide just to say well done and to remind you to upload your lovely work to get a well-deserved achievement point. Merci, au revoir.
So your homework this week is to spend 30 minutes on the Quizlet flashcards completing learn, write and test sections on the flashcards entitled Dans mon temps libre. This will be uploaded onto class charts by your teachers. So, activity 1, we're going to start with some pronunciation practice of the key vocabulary and terms for this lesson. The key question then, qu'est-ce que tu fais dans ton libre? What do you do in your free time? Qu'est-ce que tu fais dans ton libre? What do you do in your free time? Please pause the video to repeat the question. So we'll start with the days of the week. And after each word, if you could repeat after me. Le lundi, le mardi, le mercredi, le jeudi, le vendredi, le samedi, le dimanche, le week-end. Très bien, year 7. And now on to the activities that you do in your free time, looking at the second column. Again, please repeat the phrase after me. Je joue au basket. Je joue au foot. Je joue avec mes amis. J'écoute de la musique. Je reste chez moi. Je regarde la télévision. Je vais au centre commercial. Je vais à la campagne. Je fais du sport. Je fais de l'équitation. Je fais de la natation. Très bien, year 7. Okay, year 7. So we're now going to have a go at ping pong, whereby we say the sentences aloud in French, but we alternate words. So, for example, if we were looking at the question, I would say que, you would say ce, I would say que, etc. And we would continue until the end of the sentence. Well, then obviously you start with the days of the week, starting with le lundi and starting with the first activity, je joue au basket. Again, taking the words in turn. Remember to follow the yellow cursor to see where you need to, the words that you need to say. So, starting with the question, and I'll start. Qu'est-ce que fait ton libre? Très bien. Okay, your turn. Lundi, joue, basket. Mardi, joue, foot. Mercredi, joue, mais. Jeudi, de musique. Vendredi, reste, moi. Samedi, regarde, télévision. Dimanche, vais, centre. Le, je, à, compagne. Okay, back up to Mondays again. Lundi, fait, sport. mardi, fait l'équitation, mercredi, fait la, le, je, mais. Excellent. Lovely pronunciation. Well done, year 7. Okay, we're now going to spend 5 minutes on the game Intruder. Now, again, I'm sure you played this with your teachers in class. We're going to focus on, I will say the sentence in French, of course, the whole sentence. Apart from, I will say the verb, the doing word in English. And I'd like you to write down the word that I say, or the items that I say in French. So, for example, if I say le lundi, I play or basket, in your book, you would write down je joue. For example, if I said le mardi, I stay chez moi, you would write down in your book je reste. So let's have a go. At number 1. Le mercredi, I listen de la musique. Le mercredi, I listen de la musique. Pause your video to write down now the verb that you heard in English. Please write it in French. So you should have written j'écoute. Très bien. Let's try another one. Le jeudi, I go au centre commercial. Le jeudi, I go au centre commercial. Write down the verb in French now in your books. Pause your video now to do this. And you should have written je vais. Très bien. Let's try another one. Le dimanche, I do du sport. Le dimanche, I do du sport. Pause your video now to write down the verb in French. And you should have written je fais. Très bien. Let's try one more. Le vendredi, I watch la télévision. Le vendredi, I watch la télévision. Pause your video now to write down the verb in French. And you should have written je regarde. Très bien. Year 7. So, I'm now going to ask you the following 6 questions, and I would like you to say what you do on each day of the week. Of course, you can make up what you do on each day of the week. I'd like you, if possible, to try and say a different activity that you do each day. So let's have a go. For example, I would say, qu'est-ce que tu fais le lundi? And you might say, le lundi, je regarde la télévision. So, are you ready? Pause your video after each question to give yourself time to answer. Number 1. Qu'est-ce que tu fais le lundi? Qu'est-ce que tu fais le mardi? Qu'est-ce que tu fais le mercredi? Qu'est-ce que tu fais le jeudi? Qu'est-ce que tu fais le vendredi? Qu'est-ce que tu fais le week-end? Excellent, Year 7. I loved how you tried to use a different activity for each day of the week. Now I'm going to have a go at delayed copying. So you have 20 seconds to memorise the sentence on the board or on the side. I will then take it away and you need to write down the sentence you see in French in your book. You will need to pause your video to write down each sentence. So let's have a go. Got 20 seconds from now. Don't write anything yet. Remember, when the sentence disappears, you will then be allowed to write it down. Okay, so please pause your video now to write down the sentence that was on the slide. Sentence number 2. You have 20 seconds again to memorise this sentence. Please don't write anything yet. Remember, you can only write it when the sentence is taken away. Please pause your video now to write down the sentence in French. And sentence number 3. Remember, you have 20 seconds to learn the sentence. And finally, number 4. And number 5. So please pause your video again to write that sentence down. And number 6. So let's check the answers now, Year 7. Please make sure that you correct anything that you perhaps didn't quite copy down correctly with any spellings or accents. Pause your video as much as you need to. So the first one was Le lundi, je joue au basket. Numéro 2. Le mardi, je reste chez moi. Numéro 3. Le mercredi, je fais du sport. Numéro 4. Le jeudi, je vais au centre commercial. Numéro 5. Le vendredi, je regarde la télévision. And number 6. Le week-end, je finis mes devoirs. What I'd now like you to do, Year 7, is to translate the following 6 sentences into English. Once you've done that, you can then write down 3 more sentences of your own in French and translate them into English too. Pause your video now to do this. So let's have a look through your answers, Year 7, of your translations. Number 1, on Monday I play basketball. Number 2, on Tuesday I stay at home. Number 3, on Wednesday I do sport. Number 4, on Thursday I go to the shopping centre. Number 5, on Friday I watch the television or the TV. And number 6, on the weekend I finish my homework. So, finally, you're going to now translate the following sentences into French. Please write down the French only. Pause your video now to do this. Let's have a look through your answers then, Year 7. Le vendredi, je fais la natation. Again, please change anything that you perhaps didn't get quite correct, any spelling, and pause your video as much as you need to. Numéro 2, le week-end, j'écoute de la musique. Just be aware here, of course, you've got your accent, so J apostrophe and then accent E, so please make sure you've written that down as well. Numéro 3, le jeudi, je vais à la campagne. Again, we have another accent, but on the A, so please add that if you forgot. Numéro 4, le mercredi, je fais de l'équitation. Again, you should have added accents to, you've got L apostrophe and then accent on your E. Numéro 5, le mardi, je joue avec mes amis. Très bien, Year 7. Excellent. Okay, Year 7, just finally to finish off, please finish my sentence. Write the sentences in French into full. For example, number 1, le jeudi, je joue avec mes amis. So pause your video now to have a go at numbers 2 to 6. And let's check through your answers, Year 7. Numéro 2, le week-end, je reste chez moi. 3. Le vendredi, je joue au basket. 4. Le samedi, je finis mes devoirs. 5. Le mardi, je regarde la télévision. 6. Le lundi, je vais à la campagne. Très bien, excellent.
Fantastic work, Year 7. Really well done. I hope you enjoyed the lesson with Miss Clinton. Please now upload a photo of today's lesson onto class charts to get a very well-deserved achievement point for home learning. And please do that within 24 hours in order to get the achievement point. Well done. Au revoir.